Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 I would say annual meeting. Yeah, so great to see all of you. We had a great turnout, and just awesome to see all the involvement yesterday and everything going on during this crazy and fun week. So, yeah, we'll get this kicked off by reciting the object. So, if you all could please stand and rise and recite that together. The object
Spirit self ship character services
you all may be seated. So yeah, guys, my name is Ryan Vanderleest, and I'm Ryan Vanderleest, and I'm serving as this semester's alumni director. Again, thank you everyone for coming, and for those attending the live stream. It's so good to see you all here today, and just so awesome to hear about all the events yesterday. It's awesome to hear that a class of members from 10 years all got together last night in Des Moines, and also as well as a bunch of alumni gathering last night. Thank you again to all the Moms Club members involved in that event, setting that all up. We really appreciate you, and just so awesome to see how involved this house is. So we have a really great day in store for you guys today. Meeting will kick off with a greeting from Allison Rickles. Thank you so much for coming all the way down from Kansas City today. Followed by reports from Aiden Bauer, our chapter president, Matt Scarshog, our association board president, Julie Scar, the Moms Club president, and Eugene Rodford, the association board treasurer. So following the meeting, please head to the A3 alumni tailgate. Today, it's a very exciting day. Due to all your gracious donations, Three Couch Chefs is providing a meal, all provided by International. Thank you again so much again for that. But thank you really to you guys for giving all the donations. And again, that's just truly how this house thrives. And we cannot do what we do without the support from you guys. It's awesome. Not many houses around just in general have the involvement that you guys do. It's just so awesome to see that. So your recommendations are awesome, and we could not be more grateful for you guys. I unfortunately will be heading out during this time. I have a work commitment with the Iowa State football team, helping out with recruiting.
Yeah.
It's time to be a cyclone right now. Hopefully most of you guys are going to the game. Hopefully when we come back, we're 8-0 and celebrating it tonight. So. Yeah, if you guys have any questions throughout the day at all, Ian Strawbers is in the back right there. He's the assistant. Aiden Bauer, our chapter president, are great resources just throughout the day. And my email and phone number are also included in every edition of Atlantis. So if you want to reach out about anything, please feel free to do so. But yeah, so without further ado, Allison Rickles, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you around. Go Cyclones.
Good morning, and thank you, Ryan. It is a pleasure to come back to Iowa State. It always feels like a homecoming for me. I grew up in Cedar Rapids. I'm a proud Panther. My husband came here to Iowa State, so I spent a lot of time here in college, and have been with FarmHouse ever since I graduated for 23 years now, and have been the CEO of the foundation for 17. So many of you I've known for a long, long time, and so I'm grateful to be with all of you today. And really, my intention is just to say thank you and extend greetings from the fraternity and the foundation, and just share a couple things. I want to first highlight that we have several alumni that have long been involved at the international level. But right now, Corby Fichter, where's Corby? Serves on the fraternity board. Thank you, Corby, for your service. And then we actually have 4 trustees that are Iowa State alumni. So Craig Harris, Bryce Freeman can't be here, but Brian Woolley, and then Lloyd Bettis. And I want to give a big applause for Lloyd. Lloyd served for 6 years as our trustee and fundraising chair all 6 years, and his term just ended 2 weeks ago. So I'm still going to keep him around, but let's give him a big round of applause. We also have a couple master builders in the house, so if you are one of those, if you would raise your hand so we can recognize you as well. So absolutely wonderful. Let's give them this summer. And two things I want to recognize is that Russ Jones received award, the Hutchinson Award. So a round of applause for Russ. There's a lot of really neat educational programs, some celebratory things. We went to the zoo, we had a Vesper service. We really celebrated FarmHouse, and if you've not been to a conclave before, we highly encourage you to join us. But I also want to say thank you because of an endowment fund that this chapter has, or the association has, that supports educational programs. They actually sponsored a good portion of conclave. Judd Horace, the NIC president, who actually is going to join us at the tailgate. He's in town because his daughter's a freshman here. He was one of our keynote speakers. And so that endowment fund actually paid for Judd's speaking, his travel, his hotel, all of that. And so a large portion of conclave is actually funded by donors' dollars. So I just wanted to say thank you. And so a couple highlights. The fraternity is doing well. Dave Hansen is a fellow Iowa State alumnus and leading the charge for the organization. We're really focused on three things: growth, growth of chapters, growth of our current chapters, but also expansion. We're expanding at Alabama currently. That's a group that came to us and said, we want to be a chapter because they have friends, brothers at Auburn and Troy that are incredibly successful. And right now they're about 100 members on that campus at brand new starts. We're also restarting at Idaho and working with some chapters that are small. Not every campus is afforded opportunities like this chapter has. Most of our chapters don't have beautiful facilities. Some do, but most don't have alumni that give. Some do, but you all do it really some of the very best. And we want more of our chapters to have these experiences. And a great example is the tailgate that we're going to get to experience. And that's what I want to come and check out. Greek House Chefs is very generously donating that because you all generously donated to the foundation for our month of giving that is for Excellence Fund that supports the fraternity. And so Tennessee is the other group that's getting to do that today in front of a home football game. But Matt Podolsky is an Iowa State alumnus and a Tennessee advisor, and is why they get that tailgate. So again, but the fraternity is also focused on member experience. So things like our Leadership Institute that happens, that not only does this group association always make sure that the chapter is sponsored, you also help sponsor other small chapters, which we're grateful. Our conclave, like I mentioned, our partnerships or programs like the etiquette dinner that just happened on the campus is because of donors' dollars. And we actually have two new partnerships, one with an organization called Plaid that does online risk management education that we're going to soon roll out. But the other is a partnership with the Judd Foundation that's focused on mental health and suicide awareness and really mental health resources for our students and our volunteers, which is exceptionally important. And then the last is excellence, making sure that we're efficient in the dollars that we're receiving and how our student dues are used. In fact, 1/3 of the fraternity's budget is because of donors' dollars. And a lot of that is because of our Excellence Fund, which we promote through things like the month of giving. So with that, I just want to say thank you. Your organization is thriving because people like you stay involved. So I always say, I never want this to be your last experience for FarmHouse. We hope this is one that you will continue to be a part of. And we are so grateful that you are a part of. FarmHouse actually has the highest percentage of giving in terms of participation compared to our 54 Men's peers organizations. We're actually number 7 in terms of assets, and we're always in the top 10 for giving. We are one of the smallest membership, alumni size, but so generous with that you're investing in the organization. So with that, thank you. Let us enjoy the Greek House Chefs. I want to make sure that we can do it again this next year. I will tell you, Nebraska was really mad at me that they didn't win. So they're okay, but you got it. So 2 things. One is I want to know what you think about their tailgate. Should we do it again this April? We will have a month again of April. And then I'm asking you to participate again and show up and show out and see if you get to do it again a second time. But also thank them. They're doing this at no cost to any of us. They did it because they want to promote and they also really respect FarmHouse. And so again, our deepest greetings and thank you for allowing me to be here. So.
All right, thank you, Allison. Hello, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I am Aiden Bauer, and I have the honor of serving as chapter president for this calendar year. We are beyond excited to welcome you back to our home here at 311 Ash Avenue for today's homecoming annual meeting. To begin today, I wanted to extend a few thank yous to everyone that has made today possible. The association board, our alumni directors, Ryan Vanderleest and Ian Straubers, supporters and donors, our house mom, Jamie Hewitt, just to name a few. Your dedication to FarmHouse does not go unnoticed, and we truly appreciate your investment into building our men. I feel it would be a missed opportunity if I didn't recognize early on Iowa State Cyclones are undefeated at 7-0 for the first time since 1936. So, as today's meeting concludes, be sure to head down to the tailgate lots. Thanks to the generous support of you, our alumni, there is an amazing meal provided by Greek House chefs. So be sure to fill up there before the game. Then, of course, make your way to Jack Trice Stadium to cheer on the Cyclones for another victory today. Now, aside from football, our past year here at FarmHouse has been filled with growth and success. This past spring, we placed #1 in grades among all fraternities at Iowa State University with a 3.61 GPA, up from a 3.49 GPA the semester prior. This now puts us only one spot away from being #1 in grades, not only among fraternities, but also sororities as well. We also competed in the annual Greek Week competitions and took home first place in lip sync, community service, and other events alongside the women of Kappa Delta. We began our fall semester with one of the best weeks of the year, Work Week. During this week, we welcomed our new members, cleaned and tidied the house, and prepared for our classes to start the semester off on the right foot. We also held our annual Dad's Weekend, celebrating another Cyclone victory with the fathers and sons together. In mid-October, we initiated our fall freshman class, formally recognizing them as active members and entrusting them with the high standards that being a FarmHouse man. Other notable events that we have been grateful to have been a part of include a delicious etiquette dinner, socials with the women of Alpha Delta Pi and Delta Zeta, as well as our fall barn party, where we boot, scoot, and boogied our way through the night with class event, social progress, and of course, line dancing. Between both our Spring Testicle Festival and Fall Burritoville philanthropies, we raised over $20,000 this year for Leukemia Lymphoma Society, Children's Cancer Connection, and Testicular Cancer Society. This is the second most money raised of any fraternity or sorority on campus over the past 12 months. This week, the men spent countless hours preparing to compete in and help facilitate homecoming competitions. We have so much to be proud of. Paired with the women of Delta Zeta and the men of Pi Kappa Alpha, we were able to take home a first place finish in lawn display, a second place finish in Yell Like Hell, and a second place finish overall among all fraternity and sorority pairings. All of these things are accomplishments that we could not have reached without our friends, families, supporters, and our brotherhood. We continue to push the boundaries and strive for excellence in new ways. Again, thank you to everyone for gathering to celebrate today, and feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns. Also, this morning, I heard that it might be a birthday for Kelly Tobin last week. So, could we all gather and singing happy birthday? Thanks again, everybody, and enjoy the game.
Yeah, a few hours.
Hey, everybody. My name is Matt Skarzog. I'm the current association board president, and I am serving my last year, sixth and final year on the board. It has been a pleasure through all the ups and downs of being on the board, and super proud of every year the leadership of the house and the high quality men that they're able to sit year in, year out. It's an honor to be in this position. For those of you who don't know, the association board primarily acts as the landlord to the chapter. We try to come up with short-term and long-term goals for improving the house. And then, you know, we meet with the chapter leadership once a month, basically just hearing them out and seeing whatever needs the house is wanting at any moment in time, or you know what's broken, what needs fixed. Huge shout out to Jamie Hewitt, our house director.
Yeah.
You know, we're here once a month basically, and she's here every day for some long hours. So she knows exactly what doesn't work in this house, and she lets us know it. So appreciate your guidance and your assistance in that. So I do want to go through and mention the current association board members that serve with me. So if you're here, feel free to wave or stand. Dwayne Wolf, Ryan Zinasek, Nate Weber, Doug Moberly, and Dr. Brian Warming. So give those guys a huge round of applause. I also want to recognize Adam Victor, our current foundation council chair, taking over for Dr. Lonergan last year. And then Eugene Rodberg basically does all the work for us as our current board treasurer, and does a great job managing books. And then lastly, if you're here, our advisors are Alex Prignitz, Joe Waters, and Russ Jones, who also do an excellent job. So yeah, in terms of the association, I invite you to read the report. We did a lot of renovations last year, a lot of spending. This year we kind of pared it down a little bit. We did want to tackle the second floor bathrooms because Russ Jones and his company had renovated the third floor, and then we figured we should probably do the other floor as well. So guys aren't just using one bathroom up there. So Russ Jones and his company finished that job this summer, and we definitely appreciate Russ's work on that. Yeah, you guys want to. Eugene will go into more details about how we did on last year's budget. Did very well finishing that up, and his recommendations on our recommendations on the 2024-25 budget. But ultimately, we wouldn't be able to make this house better, you know, fix this house if we didn't have donors giving to either the ISU Foundation or the FarmHouse Foundation or directly to our association. It's a huge thanks to all you guys' support. You know, usually about, the way I see it, about 25 to 30% of our income throughout the years comes through those grants from the foundation. So those are super important to us, to be able to do big projects like bathroom renovations and, you know, fixing windows and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think that's about all I got. I'll join you guys for business towards the end of the meeting, and we'll have fun with that and hopefully get out of here pretty quick. So, yeah, with that, Moms Club. Thanks, guys.
Good morning. Let me just say that it is quite an honor to be with you here today. Moms Club is alive and well, and we are keeping up the tradition starting way back in 1965 by some brilliant women who did not really want to give up their sons. So they had to figure out how to stay involved. And a fun fact, last night at the Celebrity Cafe, we had 2 FarmHouse alumni that said their moms were part of the inaugural group. So that's pretty cool. So if they're here, be sure and come say hello. My name is Julie Scar. I'm current president of the FarmHouse Moms Club, and I live in Story City with my husband Brad. We're only 10 miles away, so it's super fun to be close to Iowa State and to be close to FarmHouse. Our son Sam is a senior. Hey, Sam. And he'll graduate in the spring as a software engineer. Men of FarmHouse, you know that your moms love you, right? How can you tell? Take a look at those pillows downstairs and those Iowa State blankets. Do you love those? Yeah. And we even have a sign-up genius to make sure that they're cleaned on a regular basis. It's tradition at Iowa State. And what is our objective? Our objective at Moms Club is threefold. To assist the house director, Mom Jamie, at her request, so we help out whenever she calls us as best we can. We encourage fellowship among the mothers, and we love to carry out projects that the men would have us do. The generosity of the Moms Club is unmatched, phenomenal. They put together between $4,000 to $6,000 every year. They raise that at the Moms Club weekend, and we just have a fabulous time doing it. We love to get together all of the time, or as best we can. What are some of the amazing gifts that you see? There's glamorous things, but there's also not so glamorous things too. You might see those downstairs. You might see those in the garage. Things like Milwaukee power tools, Milwaukee lawnmower, a leaf blower, a weed eater, a bench vise, gaming equipment, and lots of other things that the guys want. These will all bear the signatures of Moms Club. What are our traditions? Fellowship, community, all of these happening, Mom's Weekend, Move-In Day, and Summer Cleaning Day. Now, the alums are probably saying, we took care of that all by ourselves, right? Is that what you're thinking, right? Okay, so really the moms do that more for ourselves than for the guys. We love to get together. We love to meet the new moms that are coming in. They're wonderful, and we love to have that community. We don't mind doing blinds, and we've even cleaned some gross refrigerators. It's all good. I would be remiss if I didn't mention our executive team. If you are here, please raise your hand or step forward. I can see Annie Rempe in the back. Weber is our vice president. I know Marcy Strawbers isn't here today, but she was here last night, and she is our communicator extraordinaire. So all of that great information that you receive from Moms Club, that is care of Marcy. We even have a tab on the FarmHouse webpage now. Pretty proud of that. And that was, yeah, we are proud of that. And that was Marcy's dream, and it's come true. So thanks to Sam and Drew Kinnear for making that happen for us. Kathy Smith, who also does a lot of food preparation as well as being our treasurer. She's fabulous. Denise Hansen, our past president, and our past president, Megan Wolf, was also in charge last night of the Celebrity Cafe. So just so you know, you can be a past president. They just never let you go. I'd like to leave you with one last parting thought. Be promoters. Be promoters of the Greek system. Of course, we love FarmHouse, and FarmHouse deserves our high praises. While promoting FarmHouse, promote the Greek community as a whole. If you've been a part of the Greek community yourself, you know the benefits. If your son is thriving and flourishing here, you know the benefits. Spread the good news. The men and women who live on these streets are doing phenomenal things. Their philanthropic work is excellent. Continue to promote and build and pass this tradition on at Iowa State University. Go team.
So in the category of boring but important, I'll be giving the treasurer report.
Yeah.
Numbers are never fun, so hopefully I make them a little bit fun as I go through what we did last year as far as funding and spending for the last year. So my first slide. So starting out, you got the old slide. So in your packet, you got the list of all of the foundation council balances, whether they're at FarmHouse Foundation or they're at Iowa State Foundation. This was the early version before I got the official report, so I apologize the numbers aren't in the slide. But honestly, we're in great shape as far as the amount of money that we have. The majority of our funds are in scholarship funds that we give out every year. We give out about $82,000 worth of scholarships to men in the house every single year to help with their education. And that's through your staff. If you're ever wondering, where do I want to give my money? FarmHouse Foundation and building up a scholarship that's already there or beginning your own scholarship. I know Allison would always be more than helpful with getting things set up if you were to reach out to her and do those sort of things. The other line that I just wanted to point out is the very last line that was filled out, the building fund. That's a fund that we put together after we built the 2016 expansion, and that's a fund that we utilize for our grants. So whenever we do an educational improvement or a project at the house that's of a benefit to the education of the chapter, we can then be granted a portion of those funds back from the foundation. So when you give money to that foundation building fund, we can then use it for doing bathrooms, for doing kitchens, for doing windows. Again, boring but important. Those are all those sort of things that we utilize your funds to be able to bring it back here in tax advantaged ways, to be able to, you get the deduction, we get the improvement. So again, it's a really cool symbiotic relationship that we have with FarmHouse Foundation and the Iowa State Foundation for those funds. So there's two buckets that you can utilize for contributing. If you look at it and say, you know what, I really want to help this chapter continue to be world class. Because honestly, we compete with other facilities for men. This is a world-class facility, but there are residence halls that are really, really good now. You have apartments that are really cost-effective because we overbuilt 5-6 years ago. And so Ames is flush with apartments. So we always have to have a better product, and being a member of FarmHouse is a key part of that product, but the facility is also a part of it. So boring but important again. Next slide. All right, so what did we do last year? So last year, I love my spaghetti graphs, and I apologize for those in the back that can't see it, but the blue line is what we actually spent. The green line is what our budgeted was, and this is on a monthly basis. So we track our cash flow and we look and see where were we supposed to be, where did we end up? 7 years I've been doing this. This year we finished $284 below budget. We have never come in at $280 for budget. We're always over, we're always under, we nailed it last year. So our board, your board did a great job managing the money last year. So give the board a round of applause. Spikes and there's valleys and there's projects and everything in here. If you want more detail, I'll be more than happy to share with you PowerPoint slides and several Excel spreadsheets. So next slide. What did we spend last year? So we talked about the improvement of the bathroom project. We also did a bunch of other fairly large projects. Of course, every year we do carpet cleaning, line 3, but we did a warming of it. And one of the things, and we haven't talked about it yet, but we now have a cook back in our property who prepares the meals for and Chef Diane does a phenomenal job of improving the quality of the food for the men.
Yeah.
Right after Diane was hired, I asked one of the guys, I said, so you guys been gaining weight? Because remember Dorothy, we all gained weight when Dorothy started cooking. The Fred was 15. The men, who a man said, no, we've actually lost weight because we're eating healthier food because Diane does a better job of giving us healthy diets. I thought, wow, Dorothy would have learned a lot. So again, these were the things that we bought last year, mattress covers and all the boring stuff that you gotta do to keep a house going. That's what we did last year. Okay, next thing. Again, more spaghetti wrap, just to show you the ups and downs. Well, overall, we have about $250,000 at any given time in prudent reserve. And so that's what that line is to represent, is the fiscal year ups and downs that we have, the cardiac charts. But overall, what we have is $250,000 at any given time in case something were to happen at the property. So we try to keep that prudent reserve in place, and we've been very successful in doing that. And again, your board does a phenomenal job of making sure that we have the funds that we need to be able to do what we do. Next slide. What we spent last year, that's in the greenish column. Hard to see the number, but bottom line, we came in, had income of $460,000 last year. We ended up spending $423,000. Almost $500,000 comes into this organization every year. We're a significant business when all is said and done. And as an association member, this is your house. You own 1/1800th of this house as an association member. So it's your property. Again, your board's doing a great job of taking care of your asset. A couple things to highlight, advance real quick. So rent this year, so last year our rent was $245,000 we charged to the chapter to use the property. We raised the rent by $5,000 for next fiscal year in our proposed budget. So $250,000 is our rent for next year. We've already received our first payment. We'll get our second payment in the spring. We charged twice. Next. Grants from the foundation. Thank you, Allison and the foundation. We got $102,000 back from the foundation for educational projects and for the etiquette dinner and other things that we do that we can utilize association or foundation funds in order to do what we do. And you see, $400,000 worth of in the proposed budget for this year for income. Roughly a third, about 22% of that comes from the foundation. They are a significant contributor to what we do every year. One thing also to point out in this year, fiscal 24, we had an individual contribution of $4,000. That is directly to the association. It's not tax deferred like what you get when you get to the foundation. But if you have a need or desire and you're not deducting anymore, like some people, like I don't have any deductions anymore, I can give money because I don't need the deduction anymore. So that's a line item that you can look at in the future and say, I want to give directly to a project. I want to fund new couches. I want to fund whatever you want to do. You can give that directly to the foundation or to the chapter. House improvements, again, the $102,000 that we showed that we did for improvements. Next one. And then real estate. Our taxes actually are going to go down in fiscal 25, thanks to the state of Iowa for tax relief, but also because we were able to apply for urban renewal tax abatement. We are still in our 7th year of that tax abatement. So our taxes are artificially low because of the project that we did and filing all the paperwork during the pandemic to get that tax abatement. We will save in property tax because of that abatement, right around $100,000 of property tax. So that was well worth filling out that paperwork to get that tax abatement strategy. Been a phenomenal contribution addition because if you see the line right above it, our insurance went up by $7,000. Thanks to hurricanes, floods, and tornadoes in other parts of the country, the Midwest is getting socked with huge insurance rates. It's getting harder and harder to insure properties anymore, as you all are aware. So our insurance, yeah, it's gonna go up by $7,000 next year, just insane. Okay, next. And for all you insurance guys, I apologize. Finally, the pie chart is showing where does our money, where's our money go? So our biggest expense is our mortgage. We still have a $700,000 mortgage, $680,000 mortgage, and we're paying that down whenever we have additional funds. We are on target. Next slide. I'll wait to the next slide to tell you about that. Oh, that's the budget. Go back. Okay, back to the pie chart. The other big area of expense, of course, is savings. We do keep, for our residual fund, but also for investments for additional mortgage pay down. We keep some savings. Next slide. So here's what the budget looks like for next year. So there's two, again, the spaghetti chart with all the different colors. The green was fiscal year 24. So that's what we actually spent. The proposed budget is in red, and you see that it's a little bit higher this year. We're actually returning to a little higher residual fund. And then the budget part from last year is in the blue. So again, same cash flow pattern that we always have. It's very predictable what we do, but this is the proposed budget from a cash flow standpoint. Mortgage. So we did pay down additional on the mortgage this year, which every time we pay $10,000 on the mortgage, it shortens it by 1 month. We paid $4,000, $20,000, $30,000. Thank you, Allison. Maybe she should be the treasurer. So we paid down $30,000 on the mortgage this year. We've got additional money. We may pay down even more in the next fiscal year. But by doing that, we shorten our mortgage by 3 months. We will now pay off the mortgage, and this is wrong here. We'll pay it off in March of 2030. So in 2030, we'll be burning the mortgage at Founder's Day based off the current pattern. And as I said last year and every other year, that's the day I retire as board treasurer. So that
Really quickly about the mortgage, it's actually through our foundation. Jim Tobin has helped with our chapter housing loan program. And so the money's not going to a bank, it's coming to the foundation. It's a part of our fixed income as a part of our endowment portfolio. And so when you're paying that interest, it actually is paying towards our endowment funds and helping them have the earnings that they did. So it is helping the organization as well. So just wanted to make that point. And we're always thrilled when they pay off principal, but still, it's in good hands.
It is wonderful to have generous donors that do creative financing models like that can help us do the things we do. It's just amazing. Again, our alums, Allison's not wrong. We have the most generous, the most creative, the most intelligent alums anywhere. And it's just fun to be associated with you guys. Next slide. Oh yeah, so what can you do? Here are the key things that we need y'all to do is to continue to contribute to the building fund. That's money that we continually need to improve the facility. Again, I always talk about world class. We need to remain world class. It's a dog eat dog out there, dog eat dog world, and we're in milk bone under. And it's so it's critical that we have a world class facility. Contribute directly to the fund, to the association. If you no longer need the deduction and you want to do something to help the house, you can give directly to the association, and we'll find ways to utilize those funds to improve the property. Of course, to the ISU building fund, there's matching contributions that can be made to the ISU Foundation, which many corporations will do that. So that's an opportunity. Mentoring students. I know Dave Hansen, if he were here, he would talk about the mentoring program that International is putting together, where they're trying to match up people in professions with students who need that mentoring. Tremendous initiative that Dave's working on. Of course, continue to suggest names for new members. It is amazing how many good people are out there that we don't know about until alums tell us about these great people. And then finally, with opportunity to serve on the board or as an advisor, openings come up periodically. It seems like people want to serve for 6 years like that. And so then openings don't come up very often, but we'll be bringing 2 new board members on, and we're excited that we have that going on. So bottom line, your fraternity is in phenomenal shape. We have a great board, and we have wonderful opportunities to utilize funds to keep this property world class. And again, thank you for your contributions and for all the support you give us.
Eugene, one real quick thing, maybe talking on a term, but I want to mention, Jamie has announced her retirement at the end of this coming school year. So if you have anybody in mind that would be a great house mom, please forward those names as well.
So thank you, everyone. And again, go Cyclones.
Okay. Yeah, I'd just like to echo, good facilities, I think, are a good recipe for success. I grew up in the 90s in Ames, and our football team sucked. I was doing the math. We were, first 5 years of Coach Mack, we were 13-42. I remember, well, I don't remember the games because we would just take sheets of cardboard, slide down the hill, and that was a lot more fun than watching the game. But since then, I mean, Jamie Fowler's done a lot of things, but world-class facilities are a good recipe for giving our athletes the tools for being successful on the field. So same case here. They have roughly 100 athletes on the football team. We have roughly 100 guys working with this house. So yeah, super proud of this organization. So without further ado, I'm going to open up the business portion of the meeting. First, I think the last page of the packet are the 2023 annual meeting minutes. I would entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes from annual meeting 2023.
So moved.
Got a motion? Second from multiple. Any discussion or questions on last year's meeting? Okay. All right, seeing none, I'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passed. Next, kind of as a formality, but motion to approve the association board's transactions for 2023, 2024. Basically the numbers that Eugene had talked about in for the last year. So I'd entertain a motion to approve those transactions.
So moved.
So moved. Second. Any discussion or questions on board activity over the past year? Okay. Seeing none, I'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's like same gavel. Next would be a motion to approve the proposed budget for 2024, 2025. Do I have a motion? Motion, second. Yeah. Any discussion? Any questions or anything that Eugene didn't answer in his presentation for the overall budget? Like I said, I'm rolling off the board. I do know that the board has some additional funds that you can either pay down more on the mortgage or invest a little bit more in the house and repairing things or renovating. So, but Eugene and the board are doing a great job. So, okay. Seeing no questions, I'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving the proposed budget for the next year, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Okay. Motion passes. And then, I told you, we'll make this quick. Next, so myself and Ryan Zinasek, we both served 6 years, and that's long enough for both of us. But on the association board, you're allowed two 3-year terms consecutive to be on the board. So we have 2 current openings. So I'd move to open nominations or entertain a motion to so move. Second to open nominations. And I reached out to Brent Henningsen. And Brent, if you could stand up and maybe introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, good morning. I'm Brent Henningsen. I'm from Ames. My kids go to Gilbert. Actually, one of them daughters. I've got one son in University of Iowa. He is for an educational purpose. I've got a daughter at Louisa College, and also in the medicine field, and then a daughter at the senior at Gilbert High School. And my wife Beth, who is she's in the fitness business. She runs the Ames Racket Fitness Center here in Ames. So we've been here for 20-some years, I guess, and I pledged in the fall of 1990 and graduated in 1994 with a science degree. So hail from a small town in western Iowa, Denison, Iowa, and so we've made our home here since 1998. So I'm looking forward to being on the association board if the opportunity, if you guys see that as the opportunity for me, and I look forward to working with all you guys. So thank you.
Thanks, Brent. The next nominee that we spoke with was Derek Lucina.
Good morning, everyone. Derek Messina. I was a new member in 2008, initiated in 2009. From Grundy Center right now, grew up in Tama. Love what this organization is, so I'm looking forward to serving on the board. Once again, if you see fit. I was an advisor from 2016 to 2018. That was a ton of fun. A little bit of a story. So I remember walking down Lynn with a couple brothers, Mark Trost, Robbie Hobley, and Adam Halberg, and I was so close to completely dropping out of Iowa State. But thanks to them and them kind of coming around me, they said, hey, why don't you come study with us? We'll get you caught back up. And I was able to be initiated with them with my pledge class just because of them. So this fraternity has a ton to offer. So your brothers for the rest of your life. So looking forward to it. Like I said, from Grundy Center, my wife Katie, she was a Sigma Kappa. I actually waitered there, that's how I met her. So we waitered, it's a good thing. We have 3 kids together, 8 or 9, 7, and 5 years old. So looking forward to kind of having my boys see what this fraternity has to offer as they grow into their pre-adolescence years.
Yeah, also keep nominations open or a motion to close nominations.
Close nominations.
Sounds good. Then take a motion to close nominations and cast a unanimous ballot for these two men to join us on the board. Motion is second. Okay, sounds good. Any further discussion? All right, seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving Brent and Derek to serve on the board, say aye. Any opposed? Okay, sounds good. Yeah, let's go. I do want to take this opportunity, any announcements from the general alumni chapter that we need to cover?
Yeah, great one. Thanks, Matt. There's and I'm going to address this to you guys right up here, juniors and seniors. Next year, well, every year we sponsor a Power of 7 seminar, and the one coming up will be in Santa Fe, New Mexico, next February 21, 22, 23. So that means you juniors and seniors need to get your applications in if you're so inclined to do that sort of thing, because it's a wonderful weekend. There are fellas in this room, Lloyd, Corby, Jim Tobin, who else has sponsored,
Brian Woolley.
Ryan Woolley, yes, have donated funds to sponsor undergraduates to go to Power 7 seminars. And so it's a, no cost on your part to get to go to Santa Fe. And you'll have a wonderful weekend of joining other alumni and pairing up with a mentor who is going to kind of be your buddy for the weekend. So take advantage of the situation. There's an application form online. So just get on the farmhouse.org, and Allison's got it all there. All you have to do is fill it out, and there'll be selections made probably in what?
Due November 15th.
No, November 15th, so we only got a couple weeks to get that in.
We'll pick
And
by the
then-
beginning of December.
Yeah, and then, so it'll go through an application process, but competition is pretty tough, so make sure you cross your I's and dot your T's. No, cross your. Anyway, get your applications in.
Anything else? You guys supposed to do the builder magazine? Yeah. Yes. All right. Yeah, let's go and rise, the builder magazine.
He better build lives of the men who start from the day. So when the job's all done, the Germans will say, I'm a master builder. That's this way.
Thank you, everybody.